Hi guys, good to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. I'm in North Yorkshire today and I've had an invite kindly from a guy that I met at Cauldron Falls a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Ian invited me up and he tempted me up here by telling me all about a bank of rhododendrons that's all in flower at the moment, and boy oh boy are they in flower. Absolutely fantastic. I've never seen, you can see behind me, if I just pan around a bit, I've never seen so many rhododendrons. Absolutely fabulous. The sun's in and out a little bit, so testing conditions, but we're just going to hang about on the edge of the cliff here and wait for the right light and grab a drink because it's ever so hot. It's about 28 degrees when I got here earlier in the van. It's mid-afternoon now, and yeah, absolutely fabulous views. I don't know if the camera can really pick it up, but it's a bit overexposed, but yeah, looking over the vale there, I've got Thirsk just in the distance, so yeah, absolutely superb day to be out. It's just great to be up here. But yeah, I'm going to go and catch up with Ian now and get the camera set up and see what we can grab. Right, well I've been up and down, left and right, and I finally opted for a wide angle view, if you like. I was wondering whether to opt for the 70 to 200 and go for something nice abstract and nice and tight, but I've gone for the wide view, and I wanted to include as much as I could. There's some lovely craggy rock formations, obviously some rhododendrons growing out of them rock formations as well, so I wanted to include that. So I've opted for the 16 to 35 f4. I'm perched right on the edge of the cliff to get a nice angle. It has been a bit tricky because the sun's been coming in and out, but been waiting for about half an hour for the sun to obviously bless the rhododendrons nicely. And I've gone for a two frame focus stack because I want the foreground to be obviously nice and sharp, but obviously I want them rhododendrons to be sharp as well, and then leading your eye off into the distance. So I've focused on the rock, the nice craggy rock in the foreground here on the right hand side of the frame, and then obviously the second frame is focused on the rhododendrons themselves. So I've gone for a composition where the rock's on the right, and then the rhododendrons lead your eye from the bottom left corner all the way up to the top right corner. I've included the village at the bottom of the hillside as well. Crack, it's gone bright again, look, let's turn that down a bit. And it's actually quite breezy, which is actually quite nice. It's quite a godsend actually, it's keeping us nice and cool. But with it being breezy, the rhododendrons are swaying about quite a lot and moving, and the grasses are moving in the foreground especially, which would be noticeable. So I've gone to ISO 400 just to keep that exposure time up to 1/25th of a second, which is obviously making everything, it's freezing everything. It's I've checked on the back of the screen, it's all nice and sharp, nice and still. So yeah, 1/25th, and I'm at an aperture of f14 just to give me that real nice depth, you know. Obviously the hillside and the clouds in the background will be slightly soft at f14, but the majority of the frame will be nice and sharp foreground leading up. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed with this. It's absolutely beautiful. And the plan is now we're going to head back to Ian's for a cup of tea and a slice of cake. He's going to spoil me, I think, himself and Sylvia, his wife. So looking forward to that. And then we're going to come back for sunset. And it's an absolutely phenomenal view from here. And Ian assures me that this place will light up on the right sunset conditions. So really can't wait for that. So yeah, I'll pop the image up now, guys. And we'll go and grab a cup of tea and we'll see you back here for sunset. We've had our tea, really spoilt by Sylvia. Thanks Sylvia for doing a lovely curry and some rice, absolutely beautiful. Fueled up and we've just climbed up to the top of the cliff again. And as you can see, I'll just turn that down a bit. We could be in for a nice sunset, fingers crossed. But just one or 2 minutes ago, just as I was getting set up, I did manage to get a frame because the sun was just in the gap in the clouds and casting some lovely light on the fields in the background, and it was absolutely lovely. So I've got a few frames of that. I've taken a 2-shot exposure, so exposed for the shadows and the rhododendrons that we've got in the foreground here, and then obviously exposed for the cloud and the rays that were coming through the gap in the clouds from the sun. So I'll pop that frame up now, guys, with the settings, and might just move a bit further. Ian's gone across to get ready for a lone tree, a lone silver birch, which is really nice, so I think I'll go and join him. Well, I did go and have a quick go at the lone silver birch with Ian, but I've left him to it because I'm so tempted by these rhododendrons. That's what I came for, really. But like Ian just said, it's so difficult to know what subject to pick, you know, to choose for a composition. I mean, I've got some lovely bushes here, but I've had to do a 3-frame stack on here, so I focused on the middle, on the bush nearest to me, then the third, probably the 3rd or 4th bush of rhododendrons, and then the background and the clouds, and obviously exposed for the clouds and the brightness of the sun. So I'll stack them. I've taken another composition looking east, if you like, really, as the light was casting over the landscape over towards Thirsk, and obviously with the rhododendrons in the foreground again, that's a 2-frame stack, so who knows. But we're still waiting. We've got about another 3/4 of an hour till sunset, so something might happen. Meanwhile, I'll pop the frames up that I've been experimenting with, if they work. Well, I've composed a frame here. I've got a bank of rhododendrons. Let me turn myself up. I was just showing you the rays. Absolutely beautiful rays from the sun now. I'm just going to get that again. Obviously it's a 2-frame stack again. Exposed for the rhododendrons in the foreground here. It's been so difficult. It's one of the hardest shoots I've been to, I must say. I just don't know where to aim the camera to get a nice composition of these rhododendrons. They're so beautiful. They're in big clumps, small clumps. Do I go for 3 separate ones with the sun setting in the background? And I am also remembering to keep an eye on the clouds behind me because they could light up as well soon. But yeah, it's proven quite difficult, really. A lot more difficult than I thought. But I almost wanted to stay down the bottom of the bank and shoot upwards, but I had to come up here to get this nice backdrop. But as you can see, getting some lovely rays now. Look at these, absolutely fantastic. Is it going to focus? Yeah. But yeah, we're getting some nice rays, and I think this frame will be all right. As you can see with the rhododendrons here, it's making a nice composition. Then obviously the mid-ground and then the sun's rays. But we'll see how we get on. I may stay here. I might move again. I think this frame will work, and I'll pop it up now, guys. I think this might be the frame of the evening. I've gone all abstract. I've picked out one tiny clump. There's only about half a dozen flowers on it, but I've got really close and personal. I'm at 16mm. I've gone to f22 to try and get a nice sun star just as it's setting below the clouds, and I'm about literally a foot away from this little clump of rhododendrons, and the light was shining through the petals absolutely perfect, and I think I finally got one that I'm happy with, proper happy with. Gone portrait. I say I'm at f22, 50th of a second. That breeze has quietened down now, so there's hardly any movement at all. So I was still at ISO 400, mind, but yeah, I've got a lovely sun star, and I think this could be the one of the night. I'll pop it up now, guys. Well, that's it now. The light's definitely gone. The sun hasn't quite set yet, but there's a lot of thick cloud on the horizon, so Ian and myself are going to call it a day. So thanks ever so much to Ian for inviting me up. Definitely be back. I can just imagine this in the winter or in the autumn with a lot of mist over the vale. It'd be absolutely beautiful, just with the trees poking through the mist perhaps. But so as long as it's all right with Ian, I'll be back. But I hope you enjoyed them frames anyway, guys. Really difficult, but I think that last frame just sums up the day really. Get nice and close and personal with a rhododendron. So yeah, job's a good one. But if you could remember to give the video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated, and do subscribe if you haven't yet for more of the same content, and job's a good one. Great day in North Yorkshire. Never fails to keep me happy in Yorkshire. Love coming up here. So brilliant. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Take care. Catch up soon.